Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Final Fantasy XIV. In this video, we are going to be going through the Beast Tribe Roundup quest line that happens when you have all the Beast Tribes at rank 8. So, this is similar to what happened with Heaven's Ward, where they all come together. So, what's going on? Mr. Spry, Hancock sent me to look for you. I'm glad to have found you so close by. He said he needs you to meet with you, but it wasn't clear in the details. I suppose he'd rather explain it to you in person. Would you mind taking a moment to speak with him? He's over at the harbor. Thank you. Just make your way to Pier number 2, if you please. I'll let Hancock know he can find you there. Alright. What's going on? Alright, who's waiting for me here? Oh, I didn't even there we go. What to say? What is happening now? My God, I haven't seen you in ages. Cessa, my friend, good to see you again. Thank you for coming to meet me. Though I confess I knew you would. You are such an agreeable sort. Always better to help your friends and close acquaintances. What's that supposed to mean? What do you want from me? There's no need to be such a facial exertion. My request is a straightforward one. As it happens, I've been asked to escort a few members of the Alagmiga resistance on a tour of Kugane. Seems they're interested in seeing the fortifications that have allowed Hingashi to survive as an isolationist nation for so long. I've never met them, and it occurred to me that the presence of someone such as yourself, who has an established rapport with the resistance, might smoothen our introduction. What say you? Right you are, my bosom companion. Good to hear, particularly as they'll be here at any moment. Alright. I'm assuming it's Alpa and Joel, based on the picture. By my estimation, they should be disembarking just about now. Haha! And right I am. There they are. Esteemed members of the Resistance, welcome to Kugane. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Hancock of the East Aldenar Trading Company, and I will be your guide to this fair city. I appreciate you coming to meet us. I'm Alpa, Captain of the Villadina Gatekeepers. And I'm Joel, Alpa's second in command. Pleasure to meet you. Is that you, Cecila? Fancy me meeting you here of all places. I just hit my elbow on my desk. What a pleasant surprise. Are you here to show us around? Now that is an excellent proposal, Miss Alpa. I'm certain the two of you would feel more at ease seeing the city with someone you know. Don't you agree, Cecila? I feel like this was all foisted on me. Fine. In that case, I shall leave the role of the guide to you. Meanwhile, I can secure accommodations for our guests. This is all a ruse. I get the feeling that you didn't have much of a choice there. Sorry about this. I really didn't. So if it's alright, I'd like to visit the castle first. I'm eager to see its fortifications. Alright. Let's go see the castle. There's really not much to see, really. At least it took me straight there. And it looks like that's another cutscene right away. It's beautiful. It does look nice, but I can't imagine it's much of a use as a fortress. Too decorative. Huh. What unusual attire. I can see you're not a native to Kugane. May I ask where you hail from? By the comments, the tale's real. Are you a mermaid? Don't be absurd. I'm no mermaid. I'm an Ananta. There are many like Alpa and Alamigum, our homeland. There's no need to be alarmed. Ah, so you're of a Western race then. Pardon me, I jumped to conclusions. It can be a somewhat dull guarding the gate here, particularly as one an utterly fool who will try to break in, so I sometimes let my imagination get the best of me. It's alright, no offense taken. But if you have a moment, would you mind telling us more about this castle? I'm curious as to how a single guard at the gate is sufficient to keep it secure. Of course, I'm no expert, but I'll gladly teach you what I know. Consider it an apology for my rudeness. I mean, it's a cool looking castle. It's a shame you never actually go inside it. I mean, there is that whole dungeon, but the central keep that the towers keep above us is of a complex and strategic make, incorporating myriad defensive elements. As you can see, the most prominent part of the facade features regular openings from which to unleash a veritable hail of arrows or musket rounds. We call these Sama, and they make it nigh impossible for any enemy to approach from the front. Similarly, those unlucky souls who attempt to scale the walls are like to be met by tumbling boulders or boiling oil released from those manning the brattices. Should one somehow meant to infiltrate the castle proper, he will find a trial to get out again, for the pathways inside are like a maze by design. Oh, my controller died. Shit! Shouldn't one... Okay. To think something could be so elegant in both form and function. I'm impressed. Oh, that said, the castle has been taken before. Not too long ago, an unscrupulous sort named Kageyama and his underlings managed to sneak in during one of the Bug-Gill's galas, taking advantage of the stream of people entering the castle. Which mainly goes to show that all the clever defenses in the world mean nothing if you fail to check who's coming through the front door. A most instructive tale, thank you. I had a feeling that I would find you here. Your accommodations are ready. Since your journey was a long one, I recommend you stop for a soak in Kugane's famed hot springs before you continue your sightseeing. I can personally vouch for the efficacy of soothing spotting and soul. In that case, how could we refuse? That's settled then. Just make your way to the Bakairo Inn at your leisure. I must return to the Ruby Bazaar, but I've ensured that you will find everything in order. My first hang in hot springs. I hope you'll join us, Cecila. She really is like a fairy tale mermaid come to life. The other bathers are in for a surprise. I almost said bathers. Hey, what the fuck's a bather? Alright. This inn is spectacular. I've never seen anything like it. And to think that we can just go right on in. I wish I could show it to Gales, though it might be safer not to. Anyway, Joe went inside to change ages ago, but doesn't seem like she's coming out anytime soon. She does wear an awful lot of armor. Why don't we go take a look around while we wait for her? There's no harm in that, right? Seeing it has only made me want to get in more. Joe won't mind if we meet her in the water, right? Right. So let's go. Unless you need some time to change into your bathing suit as well. I hear it's a customary to wear one, at least in Kugane. Sure. I don't care about customs. I don't have a bathing suit on me anyway. This feels wonderful. I'm so glad we came to Hingashi. It's nice to properly relax once in a while. Look there, is that a mermaid? And tails, scales. Unmistakably a mermaid. I can't believe they've been real this whole time. Right here in our hot springs. Oh boy. This is ridiculous. I'm clearly no fish. I suppose people who've never seen an Ananta don't know what else to make of you. Huh, what's going on here? Well, I never! Mermaids in the bath! Oh no, I recognize that eye! Oh no! Shit, what quest was he from? Uh-oh. Did someone say mermaid? What's this? A seeker? And one with most unfortunate features at that. Not as unfortunate as your manners, but I would say something about the creepy mask, but I reckon the face beneath is even worse. Now, am I meant to believe that you don't recognize me, Nazajab? You certainly have a look of an Eorzean, but perhaps my legacy has not yet reached whatever drab little corner of the realm you'd call home. What quest was he from? I can't remember what job quest this guy was from. Yes, on closer inspection, I can see that our Far Eastern friends simply mistook serpent for fish. Not that it matters for my purposes, of course. I can hardly believe that I came upon a convincing substitute so soon. That's enough of your leering. What are you doing? Get your hands off of me! Alpa? Uh-oh. I swear, you masked maniac, if you've done something to Alpa. It's funny. Thought only to make a bit of coin on my travels through this foreign land, but it seems that beastmen are simply meant to be. In any case, I'll be helping myself to this one. I'll welcome a challenge, so feel free to hunt me down, if you can. Oh, that's right, this guy was from the, Heavensward Beast tribes. Uh-oh. This guy just doesn't know when to quit. The hell is that Naza? What is he? What is he anyway? I can't believe he managed to snatch Apple right from under us. No, now's not the time. Our first priority needs to be tracking down. Thankfully, if the locals' reactions so far are anything to go by, I'm sure they stood out. We can start by asking around. I'm surprised he doesn't recognize us. This guy just doesn't know when to quit. Makati man? I'm afraid I don't know what you mean. Oh, right. I'm talking about someone with ears like mine. Male, bit odd in the facial area. He might have been behaving strangely too. Does that ring a bell? Ah, so you folks are called Makati. I've seen quite a few around Kugane lately, and there was a man fitting the description over by the short pier when I passed by not too long ago. I guess we're headed to seaside then. Thanks for your help. Why don't you get your armor on? You'll get changed first before you chase him down with a bathing suit. Up here too. That's way down there. On the other side. Can't tell if it's up or below. It might be below. Yeah, it's below. Yep. There's Zet. What are you doing? What happened here? This is not what I was expecting in a variety of ways. What the hell is he doing here? Not that we found him, I suppose we ought to make sure that he doesn't die. We're going to need him to wake up first, though. I don't know, maybe poke him in the face? And you're sure he's not already dead? In that case, we'll just have to get creative. That's just the thing. Well, he does anyhow. Just as I thought. He never leaves home without his mark. His mark, I don't know what that a Roman numeral is. His grenades, I assume he took the time to remove some of the power after his prior experiences, so they should be safe enough. Lob one in his general direction, would you? Well, that's one way to wake him up. I'll stand back a bit, just in case. Let's just blow him up. Alright, guy. Sorry to do this to you. Yeah! I believe I truly grasped the meaning of the phrase "a rude awakening," which is to say, ow. Make no mistake, I'm delighted to see you, Sasa, but I would appreciate it if you would put a little more thought to your brother greeting. I was having such a nice dream too. I can't say I expected that large of an explosion. I thought for sure you'd never take the powder out this time. But why are you here anyway? Gah, Joe! Your attire is rather less present than usual. Oh, now that you mention it, I did forget to put my uniform back on, didn't I? More importantly, though, we have a serious problem on our hands. Zet, are you listening to me? Yes, I'm listening. I'm definitely not making a normal amount of eye contact. Never mind that. Apple's been kidnapped. I saw her get carried away by a man with the most peculiar mask. You saw him? Yes. Yes, as it happens, I stowed away out on your ship to get here. And that went perfectly smoothly, thank you very much, until you disembarked and ran off, leaving me without a clue where to go. And as I was wandering around aimlessly as one does, I saw the masked man with Alpha in tow. I called out to them and he hit me. Not so much as a warning. Before I fully lost consciousness, however, I witnessed something vital. He and Alpha boarded a small boat. I'm positive they're headed out to sea. There's not a moment to waste. We will board a ship at once. You too, Zet. Of course, I would never have been an Alpha in her time of need. In fact, I shall begin scanning the air seas in search of any passing vessel that can carry us away at this moment. Feel free to, say, put on a coat while I do. Huh. Just wait till I get my hands on that Namazu job. At least we have some idea where he's heading with Alpha, thanks to Zet. I've decided to reward him by not pushing him into the sea, even though he's making it so very tempting. Also, more importantly, where do you reckon we should start a search? Well, if he's going to the sea, they likely pass through the Ruby Price. But what are we waiting for? Joel, where are you going? Alright. I guess I need to find a teleport shard. So you can't actually teleport directly to the Ruby Price through normal means. The Ruby Price! Right, now that we're here, let's split up and ask about anyone seen anything of Master Mikade and a mermaid about. An excellent plan. It's nice to have everything back to normal. This had better not be about my attire again. If you hadn't noticed, Alpha has been kidnapped by a masked maniac. So go find some witnesses before I change my mind about drowning you. I never did get to tell her that her swimsuit was fetching, but at least I managed not to make a fool of myself. A man wearing a sinister mask? He certainly hasn't passed through here. I would know. I've been looking for the suspicious persons to fire at all night. Well, okay. I need to pull you away from that cannon. You're a little too eager to fire that cannon at someone. A suspicious person, man with a mermaid. Very funny, you Westerners and your jokes. Okay, so clearly they have not seen anybody. Alright, what about you? Any luck? Any luck? Nope. I guess you haven't either. You too, huh? Seems we've hit a dead end here. I haven't the slightest idea what to do now, though. Wah! What's he got himself into this time? Come on, Cecil. It's a Kojin. What is the meaning of this? First you burst out of the water like some sort of sea monster. Now you threaten me with a blade? I don't even know who you are. Or what you are. It's Kabuto. I didn't recognize you without your damn thing in your mask. You know not what you stole from me, and you shall come to regret it. Tsukumo is more precious than any treasure. Return him at once. Help me, Cecil. I'm being beset by this, turtle? Man? Turtle man! Oh, that's right, the jewel's gone. Cecil? What an odd coincidence. Or not a coincidence at all, since you two seem to know each other. In which case, you have my apologies. I should not draw my blade without preamble. Think nothing of it. As the future leader of the M tribe, I was not at all alarmed by your sudden menacing advance. Not in the least. I'm Zet, by the way, and any friend of Cecil's is a friend of mine. I'm honored to meet you. My name is Kabuto, and I lead the Divine Circle. My name's Joel. I'm with the Veladonna Gatekeepers in Alamigo. Can I ask why you were on the point of skewing Zet? My haze, I unfortunately mistook him for a thief who recently snatched Tsukumo from my helmet. What precisely is this Tsukumo? You seem rather keen on getting it back. Tsukumo is my dearest companion and guide, who once walked beside me as a Karakuri puppet blessed with a soul. He is now present. He's now present only as materia, but continues to watch over me. Wait, wasn't Naza holding on to something that looked an awful lot like materia when we saw him at the hot springs? Could that have been Tsukumo? If so, it would mean that he robbed Kabuto before kidnapping Alpa. That way, we certainly won't find him on the Ruby Sea. But why not? If it were me, I wouldn't want to risk my prize being retaken by its rightful owner, and fending Kabuto off would be more difficult with Alpa in tow. I put my money on Naza having made for land as quickly as possible. A reasonable conclusion. Assuming he was headed for Othar, the most direct route would have taken him through the village of Isari. To Isari we go then. We'll follow your lead, Kabuto. You couldn't just take me straight there, huh? I mean, you didn't realize that's a far fly, right? You couldn't take me straight there? Would been nice. Would have been convenient too. Alright, guy. Any luck? What a charming little fishing village. Would that we were here for some fun, relaxing sightseeing. But we have a villain to catch and a captain to save. So let's get to it. Meet me back here once you gather as much information as you can. So we can go north or we can go south. I bet we're going to the steppe. I've not seen your mystery man, but I can tell you that mermaids have been a subject of some discussion around here as of late. See, local legend has it that somewhere out there, far from the sight of the grass of ordinary man, are what we call Hingans, the three wonders. Mermaid's flesh being one, is said to grant life eternal, be that for better or for worse. A few moons past, a young lady born to one of Kugane's oldest and wealthiest families proclaimed that should any gentleman presume to ask for her hand in marriage, she would accept nothing less than all three wonders as a dowry. It's a fool's errand, certain enough. We Hingans, we love our fairy tales, our fairy stories as well as any folk, but we know the three wonders are no more than fantasy. You have to admire her clever ploy to remain unwed, though, which is why it's the talk of the land. Alright, that didn't tell me at all. A masked man carrying a mermaid? Frankly, I'm not even sure I could imagine such a sight, and I certainly haven't witnessed it. I did see a man with a curious mask, though. He had made a landfall in a small boat, and I assumed departed on foot soon thereafter, as I hadn't seen him since. I had wagered he'd made for the Azim Steppe, or Yangsha, like most who pass through here. That was more helpful. What about you? Is this a suspicious man and a mermaid with him? No, there ain't any suspicious sorts around here, around our little village, and you'll pardon me for saying so, but it doesn't seem likely that a mermaid would keep such company. Not willingly. Now that we're all back, let's share what we've learned. Hopefully between the four of us we'll have enough to go on. So Naza has indeed been sighted, but no one can confirm which direction he departed in. And if your sources are correct, Appa is no longer with him. Did he stash us somewhere before landing in Asari? And where is he now? Three wonders may provide a clue. According to folklore, the treasures of Merflesh, the jewel of fair souls, and the philosopher's fin. I shudder to think of the young lady being forced to marry Naza of all people, but based on his stuff so far, it does seem like he's collecting the wonders, or treasures, with passing similarity to them at least. Indeed, if Tsukumo is his substitute for the jewel of those fair souls, and your Alpha is meant to be the source of Merflesh, that leaves only one. Flesh simply implies a level of dismemberment, and that I'm not comfortable with. We have to stop him. Yes, I realize that. If you have any brilliant ideas as to how, now's the time. We can't allow him to stay one step ahead of us. The Namazu. We can say with some certainty that Naza has made for either Yangsha or Azim Steppe, but where he can be up to no good. But it's also likely that Alpha has been imprisoned somewhere between here and Kugane. So which should we seek? I'll be happy to ask the other members of the Divine Circle to search for your friend. There are no finer secrets or treasure than the Ruby Sea, and it would free us to continue tailing the thief. While I would prefer to see Apple's safety to myself, I can't deny that I'm at a distinct disadvantage in these lands. It probably would be better to leave the search to those familiar with the area while we pursue Naza. He's after the, what was it now, Philosopher's Fin, correct? If our assumptions are correct, there's only one left, and we know he's not too particular as to whether he lays hands on the real thing. So, do you have any idea what could possibly pass with the Philosopher's Fin at a glance? Sugetsu from the Enlightened, he sure talks enough. He's easy to... Namazu speaks and articulately at that. Yes, he does sound like a prime candidate. However, one could I'll easily call all the Namazu who have mastered the common tongue Finn philosophers. We cannot count on a villain to be so selective, nor do we know if he makes Dora Ilo, or rather Yuzuka Manor. If the potential Finn philosophers can be found at that location, I suppose we'll split up and cover both. I'll take Yakuza Manor. Zek, come with me, if only so I can keep him from accidentally injuring anyone, himself included. Anyway, I'm sure the locals will be able to point us in the right direction. Then we will hasten for Dora Ilo. I only hope that we arrive in time. Oh boy. This band just doesn't know when to quit. I had heard word of the festivities taking place here, but I wasn't aware they would be so extraordinary. By the big one, our comrade and Finn's, we're here to assist with the new project. Yes. Our latest greatest event? Not quite. I interpret that as I haven't the foggiest idea of what you speak. So allow me to explain thoroughly. We are currently planning our ambitious event to date. An exceedingly cultured performance based on the beloved carol of Eld, Great Kings of Orient. We have spread word of our upcoming masterpiece far and wide, from Kugane to Yangsha, so doubtless a great many will be in attendance. By the by, sir, it is rare to see one of you such as yourself here on the steppe. Am I correct in assuming you're an ambassador of the Kojin tribe? And how might I address you? I am Kabuto, and I am indeed of the Kojin of the Blue, and the leader of the Divine Circle. We typically pursue treasure, but our core today is a villain whom we suspect is pursuing the Philosopher's Fin. We have traveled here to stop him before anyone comes to harm. Aha, are you perchance speaking of the Philosopher's Fin detailed in the new records of ancient matters? One of the 3 wonders? Fascinating! But why seek it on the Asm Steppe? I'm quite certain the records make no mention of a location. So naturally, having spoken to Cecil, you conclude I would most readily be identified as the source of the requisite Finn, esteemed as I am. Indeed, there could be no more obvious choice for a Finn philosopher. Wait. I seem to recall our many discussions that the philosopher will not be played by Yuji Kyofu, so against the Enlightened. We decided on Gyorai for that role, remember? We already have made the costume to fit her. The role of philosopher? Perhaps we should hear more of this new event of yours. Oh, very well. In our upcoming performance, we reenact the journey to the west made by the 3 kings in days of yore. Gyorai has been chosen to dress as the Philosopher King. One would think that the Namazu best suited for the said role would be I, Sugetsu the Enlightened, most erudite and learned among us, renowned author of a meditation on the metaphysics of merrymaking, but Gyoshin continually insists. That's it! Naza must have heard about the performance and learned that if it would include a philosopher, that's why he made for the Asm Steppe. And if he also knows that she's been selected for the role of Philosopher King, Gyorai will be in grave danger. Where is she now? If I recall correctly, she spoke of traveling to the Dawn Throne to retrieve ritual offerings from the ordinary stock. We've been running low, as someone keeps partaking without authorization. We must make for the Dawn Throne at once! With me! I was not really following that, no. But I'm most confident that Gyorai's fins should remain intact to Gyorai. She needs those. It's all well and good for Gyoshin to sprint out to Big Nose Where, but it's hardly advisable for me to leave the festivities unsupervised. I'll remain here and film Gyorai of the situation should she return. Lord. Alright, I'm assuming you guys have no luck here. Goodness, how kind of the order to share so much food with us. It'll take more than a few Namazu to eat through all this, thankfully. Uh-oh. Oh, hello. Can I help you with something? Yes, yes. I'm supposed to believe that that's the face of a philosopher? But I suppose a Finn's a Finn, and the client won't know any better, so in you go. What's the meaning of this? Let me out! Oh no, no! Stop, stop! He really has. Will's have to give his fins. Now he has both of them. Spanish doesn't know when to quit. You put her in a barrel, the horror, the indignity. What do we do? We should speak with our comrades at Yuzuka Manor. They need to hear this, and they may have an idea where Naza would take his ill-gotten treasures. Can you contact them, Cecil? Nothing to report here. Have any luck? He's kidnapped a Namazu named Gilray? That's not good. He's got all three of the wonders in hand then. But if we were to assume that his sudden quest for the three wonders and the young lady's wedding dower are connected, there's a good chance that he would visit Rikugane at some point, whether to present the items to her or to her would-be suitor. He would have to retrieve Alpha beforehand, of course, meaning that we finally have a chance to get ahead of him. We can return to Kugane first and be ready to snare him when he arrives. Let's rendezvous at Kugane, say, the Bakura Mine. I'll see you, or Bakura Mine, Bakairo Inn. I'll see you there. What did Joel suggest? Lay a trap in Kugane? It could work, but we will need to return post haste. We should tell Gil to get to the Latin first. I'm sure he'll have the many thoughts on the situation, maybe even a helpful one. Very well, we will speak with him before we depart. He's doubtless worried about Gilroy, and it would be unkind to leave him wondering. I will find he gets the enlightened and be right back. You should surprise you with the ill news. You intend to apprehend the culprit in Kugane? Yes, if we travel fast enough, we should succeed in reaching the city before Nazan Job does. I always have a travel hammer, a travel awl, and a travel spinning wheel, and a travel anvil packed in just in case. I am most prepared. Ready to go? Yes, yes. The sack will be tight squeezed for both of us, but if you put Sugetsu in head first and me tail first... Stop right there, Kiyoshin. Exactly what are an artisan and a member of the literati meant to do against an opponent who is full of even Cecil? For us to blunder in without a strategy would be the height of folly. No, these two will have to journey ahead of Kugane, lest Naza arrive sooner than expected. Now, meanwhile, I shall devise an infallible plan based on the principles laid forth in the Smart of War. We shall join them anon. I don't know what those principles are, not in a little bit, no. But I will do as you say if you think that will help Gilroy back. But could he be plotting? Who knows with these guys? Might serve us to have a clear idea of Sagetsu's Enlightened's plan, but we can in return, we can wait no longer to depart. Come, we must hasten to the Bakairo Inn. Alright, so what's the plan? Need to make good time. We left for Kojin just after I spoke with you, and only arrived a short while ago ourselves. Have you been able to learn anything of Namazu? We were successful in returning to Kojin ahead of him, though not by much. He's already made port. We saw dock workers hauling a large barrel and scouring the sack from his skiff under his close watch, unfortunately, so whatever his plans are, they're luckily already in motion. The prisoners! Where has he sent them? There's a large vessel docked at pier number 1. Seems Alpha and Gilray have been taken aboard. I have Zet keeping an eye on the situation. I saw that ship when we arrived. It's unmistakably the Kuroboro Maru. If I recall correctly, the merchant Kageyama purchased it for a hefty sum some time ago. Kageyama, you say? And who might that be? A man easily as vile as Naza Job himself. He once conspired to take Kugane Castle, holding the Bugyo hostage, as he had made ludicrous demands. Though thwarted, he used his wealth and influence to escape justice. He has taken to using this tactic recently, it is said, in pursuit of a bride, spending more gil than most you will ever see in his attempt to snare the perfect woman. A bride, hmm? Well, I think you found Naza Job's esteemed employer. Hello, Cecila. It is I. You know, your favorite Makati. Dashing good looks, ladies man, future non of the Nem tribe. Yes, well, I'm afraid we have a problem. One that requires your immediate attention. That's why I contacted you. It's vital that you hear this as soon as possible. I've been dutifully keeping watch about the Kuroboro Maru, and Alpha and the Namazu have been brought out on the deck. We don't have much longer until our mermaid becomes mermaid's flesh. I would love to continue this little chat we're having, but I rather think you should come to the harbor right away. Was that Zet? Gotta get moving. This is our last chance then. We must stop Naza once and for all. He got away last time. I'm surprised he managed. I'm actually surprised he's still alive because he got blown up. Man got blown up by the by the Death Arm. There you are. We must hurry. Alpha's a dear friend. I want to have you turned into mince by scheming and a rather unattractive, I must say, villain. This man, yep, this guy was definitely part of the Kugane Castle dungeon. Merflesh. Philosopher's Fin. And the Jewel of Fair Souls. With this, you can no longer deny me. And what a pretty thing she will be beside me at our matrimonial feast. I can taste it now. I couldn't possibly care less what you intend to do with the goods, so long as I'm fairly compensated. Speaking of payment, I think it's time we finish up here. I need only carve the meat. Not a chance. Finally caught up, have you? Though I doubt you would have made you would have made much more to offer this time around. Joel! That was dirty. What, afraid you couldn't defeat her in a fair fight? I prefer merely to spend my time on foes that were actually worthy, or at least suitably entertaining. But if any of you would believe you were present a great challenge, then by all means. Very well, I'll defeat you myself and have you return to Tsukumo here and now. I see them! They're most visible. Ramming speed, yes, yes! Oh my god. Oh, got sliced. The whistle. It's the Sekizagumi. Pity. I was just beginning to feel a twinge of excitement, but I see I must take my leave. Farewell, Eastern Beastmen. This little chase has been most amusing. Perhaps you may entertain me someday again. Not this time. As the future nun and a friend of Joel and Alpha both, I cannot let these crimes go unanswered. Trust me, sometimes you have to learn the hard way how to treat a lady. Seven hells. Huh. Was a dud. Oh, now we find no. Oh, now we find the one with no powder. As if explosives would save the adventurous gaggle of misfits yet again. That's the Jaws. That's the Jaws thing. What the fuck? There we go. Get eaten. Good riddance. Huh. Who knew Jaws was in this game? Now we need only to ensure that Kageyama meets justice at the hands of the Sekizagumi. That may pose a problem. Where has that eel slipped off to? Makes the cook for Kojin Dory. Sasa with me. We can meet at the Bakara Inn afterward. I'll carry the wounded there. We're counting on you. Man just doesn't know when to quit. You need not push yourself, Alpha. You've only been freed from what must have been a very trying ordeal. I'll be fine. As captain of the Veladena Gatekeepers, I can't let evil go unpunished. Oh, there he is. There. What? How did you... No matter. I mean, you followed me this far, but no further. Papa's a Kugane, behold my loose change. Ooh, free money! Pardon me, sir, but if we can move to the left, ma'am, it's imperative that we capture this villain. I'm not listening. Just look at them scrounging at my fate. It pays to be wealthy. Please leave this to me. You're wasting your time, little mermaid. I'm a master at monetary manipulation, and no one is easier to control than coin-starved commoners. What is that? What is the meaning of this? Oh, cruel fate, why do you mock me? Well done, but why fish? I saw one on the Namazu strange contraption earlier. It was so cute I could just stop thinking about it. I don't even like fish. I believe it's time you accepted your fate. Yes, I think that's quite enough escape attempts for one day. You made it perfectly clear who the villain here is, right, my Sekisugumi friends? You can't do this to me. I have a woman, of course. A matrimonial banquet to consume. Sucks to be you. You should have done it the right way then. Seems the matter is resolved at last. Shall we go and inform the others? Okay. The innkeep is kind enough to call a doctor, but it seems that no one has more than minor injuries. And apparently there's even no better treatment for scrapes and bruises in the Bakaisen hot springs. Guess we'll just have to visit them again. Why not? Let's continue where we left off before we're so rudely interrupted, shall we? I'm so sorry, Alpa. What? You've absolutely nothing to apologize for. Not now, not ever. It's my duty to protect you, and I failed utterly. Then it took so long to free you, and I couldn't even manage that without help. Maybe not, but the rescue wouldn't have succeeded without your leadership. Not to mention how you saved me from being sliced in two. You may have been able to do everything You may not have been able to do everything yourself, but I couldn't ask for a better second in command. I'm polite. Thank you. I'm grateful to everyone else too. Cecil, Kabuto, Gyoshin, Hold on, where's Zet? Maybe he's still changing? Nope. He's right behind you. Ah! Never fear, it is I, Zet. I discovered this floating in the sea after Naza disappeared. How do I look? Rockish? I'm throwing that back in the sea and you along with it! Just when you think he's learned something. If I may ask, Gyoshin, how did you find us on the Kuroboro Maru? It was easy to spot you from above. I knew that stuffing the Mikoshi with all the clouds bred in our stores was the right choice. Yes, yes. My, how convenient. I'm glad that you made it safely too, Gyorai. Thanks to all of you, being trapped in a barrel was harrowing and fraught with splintery peril. Yes, yes. But it was worth it for a chance to enjoy these hot springs together. If you say so. What is the gem on your helmet? It's most unusual, quite unique. This is the soul of a dear friend, my dear friend Tsukumo, more valuable than any treasure in the whole of the Ruby Sea. It is what Naza stole from me, and I'm grateful to you for helping me retrieve him. As Gyorai said, despite our tribulations, I feel fortunate to have met you all. I hope that we continue to strengthen our late friendship now that we're all on the safe and sound. Then please come to our festival, yes, yes. We can strengthen our friendship and all our assorted limbs by carrying Mikoshi together. And if you're never ever in Eorzea, come to Alamigo. The Veldana Gatekeepers will give you the grand tour, and you can stay at the Castellum. Friendships all around. Nice. All right. And that is the official end to the Stormblood Beast Tribes. So, I hope you enjoyed it. And we're ready to move on to the Shadowbringers tribes next. Oh, now I will say this. Unlike Heaven's Word and Stormblood, and I will make a mention of this when I actually get the videos out for the Beast Tribes, there is no like big wrap-up quest for the Shadowbringers Beast Tribes. I think they had planned to make one, but because of COVID and everything last year ruining pretty much everything, I think they ended up not doing one. So there is no big roundup quest for Shadowbringers. But so it's just gonna be the Shadowbringers Beast Tribes. It's unfortunate, but oh well. Oh man. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next part. Later.